cry from the trash. It was a cold, quiet night. Derek, a human man in his 30s, walked home from his long night shift. He worked in a factory fixing old machines. His back hurt and his hands were greasy. All he wanted was a hot shower and some sleep. The street was dark. Most lights were broken. Trash cans stood on the sides. Wind blew old papers across the road. Then, he heard it. A soft sound. A cry. He stopped. It wasn't a cat. It wasn't a machine. It was something else. It sounded weak, like a baby. He followed the sound. It came from behind a dumpster. The big metal trash container smelled bad, full of old food and broken things. Derek moved slowly, careful with every step. As he got closer, the crying grew louder, but softer at the same time, like it was losing strength. He looked inside, and then his heart stopped. There, lying inside a dirty cardboard box, was a tiny alien baby. Her skin was pale blue, her arms were thin, her eyes were shut tight, and she cried with no strength left. She wore no clothes, just a torn sack around her. Small body, dirt covered her face. Her lips were dry. Her body shook. Derek didn't move for a second. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. "Who would do this?" he whispered. He quickly removed his coat and wrapped it around the child. She felt ice, cold. Her skin was too thin. She looked close to death. Then he saw something under her hand. A small folded paper. He opened it. The words were shaky, written in a strange language, but Derek understood a little galactic common. It said, "Please don't hurt her. I have no food. I will come back if I survive." Derek looked around, searching the shadows. No one, just the wind, just the night. He couldn't leave her. With gentle hands, he picked her up. She made a weak noise, and then leaned her head against his chest. Derek didn't wait. He walked fast toward his small home at the edge of the city. Far away, in the shadows, someone watched. An alien woman, thin and weak, hiding behind a wall. Her long hair was tangled. Her clothes were torn. Her eyes were full of tears. She saw the man take her baby. She wanted to run after him. She wanted to scream, "Stop, that's my child." But she was too weak. She hadn't eaten in days. Her legs shook. Her vision was blurry. She pressed her hand to her chest and cried without sound. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Please save her." Then she turned and slowly walked away. She didn't know where. She just walked, with tears falling onto the ground. Back in his home, Derek placed the alien baby on a warm blanket. He gently cleaned her with a wet cloth. He found an old bottle, warmed some milk, and held it to her lips. She opened her eyes. Bright, glowing, a strange golden color. Not human at all, but beautiful. She took the bottle slowly, weakly sucking. Her tiny hands reached out and grabbed his finger. Her skin was still cold, but her eyes didn't look scared. They looked peaceful, like she knew she was safe. Derek felt something strange in his chest, a deep feeling, not pity, not fear, connection. He smiled, even though he felt like crying. "You're safe now," he whispered. "I've got you." She let out a tiny chirp, almost like a laugh. Then she closed her eyes again and slept. Outside, the wind howled. The world was still dark, and somewhere out there, a mother cried alone. But inside that small home, hope had just begun. The baby slept, wrapped in Derek's coat. Her little chest rose and fell slowly. She was safe, for now. Derek sat on the floor beside her, staring at the small note he had found with her. The paper was torn, stained with tears, and maybe blood. The writing was uneven, like the person's hand was shaking. "Please don't hurt her. I have no food. I will come back if I survive." His fingers tightened around the paper. Who had written it? Was the mother still out there, starving, alone? He looked down at the baby again. Her skin had a soft glow, now still blue but warmer. Her tiny hand still clutched his finger. "She trusted me," he whispered, "even though I'm not her kind." Suddenly, the baby made a soft sound. Derek leaned closer. Her eyelids fluttered. She wasn't crying this time. Instead, she softly whispered something. A single word. "Ma." It wasn't human language, but Derek understood. It meant mama. Outside, miles away, the baby's real mother was crawling. Her knees were scraped. Her arms shook. She had nothing left. No energy, no food, no shelter. But she dragged herself forward, whispering one name over and over: Lura, Lura, Lura. That was her baby's name. She had left her in the trash because she had no other choice. Her milk had dried up. Her bones showed through her skin. If she stayed with the baby, they would both die. So she made the hardest choice a mother could make. She wrote the note with her last strength, kissed her baby's forehead, and placed her in the cleanest trash box she could find. Then she waited in the shadows, watching, hoping someone kind would come, and someone did. But now she was too weak to return. She hadn't eaten in 4 days. Her body ached. Her vision faded. She collapsed in an alley between 2 buildings, next to a dying heating pipe. She curled up, shivering. That morning, Derek placed the baby in a small basket near the heater. He didn't want to leave her, but he had to find help. He locked the door and went out. There were 2 things he needed: baby supplies, clues about the baby's mother. He stopped at a local medical booth first. The nurse, a half-machine woman, stared at him when he asked for alien baby milk. "You adopted one?" she asked. "No. I found her in a trash box. She was dying." The nurse's face didn't change. "Not the first time," she muttered. "What? Alien women come here hungry. Some are slaves, some are refugees. The poor ones. They leave babies behind." She handed him a small box of nutrition formula. "Feed her this. But if she cries at night, she's remembering pain." Derek swallowed hard. "What about her mother?" "She's probably already dead," the nurse said coldly. "Or worse." Derek walked out without saying anything more. He didn't believe it. Meanwhile, back at home, the baby stirred. The sunlight warmed her face. She reached up, little arms stretching. Then she heard something at the window. Tap, tap, tap. A shadow passed by. A figure, ragged, thin. She blinked and smiled. It was her mother. Outside the window, the alien mother stood with one hand on the wall. Her knees shook. Her eyes were full of tears. She had followed the man. It took her all night, but she had found him again. She saw the baby in the basket, clean and warm. The baby was alive. She wanted to go in. She wanted to hold her. But her body gave up. She slid down the wall slowly and collapsed again. This time she didn't get up. Derek returned just 5 minutes later. He was carrying supplies and a small blanket. As he stepped through the front gate, he saw a body lying near his wall. His heart dropped. He rushed over and stopped. It was her. Her skin was the same soft blue, her arms were scratched, her lips were dry and cracked. But there was no doubt. She was the mother, and she had come for her baby. Derek dropped to his knees. She was still breathing, but just barely. He lifted her gently, whispering, "You're not dying today." Inside, the baby cried out again, this time. It sounded like hope. The alien mother lay on Derek's old couch, wrapped in his only extra blanket. Her breathing was slow, weak. Her arms trembled with every small movement. Her skin, once pale blue, had turned a grayish shade from hunger and cold, but she was alive. And for now, that was enough. Derek sat beside her with a wet cloth, gently wiping the dirt from her forehead. She had passed out again, but her chest rose slowly. She was hanging on. Across the room, in a small basket near the heater, the baby stirred. Her golden eyes blinked open. She looked around, chirped softly, then let out a louder cry. She was hungry. Derek rushed to her side. He lifted her gently and held her in one arm, rocking her. "Shh, it's okay," he whispered. "I've got you." He reached for the bottle of alien baby formula he had brought from the medical booth. It was thick and pale green with a smell like sweet herbs. Derek didn't know much about alien babies, but the nurse said it would work. He warmed the bottle carefully, then brought it to her lips. The baby sniffed it first, then slowly she opened her mouth and drank. At first only a little, but then more. Her tiny hands grabbed the sides of the bottle. Her small throat moved quickly. She was gulping like she hadn't eaten in days. Because she hadn't. Derek smiled. "That's it. You're safe now." For the first time, her eyes met his while eating. They glowed brighter, soft, and full of life. She chirped again, this time like a purr. Then something happened. Her skin color began to change, just a little. From pale gray blue to soft blue again. Her cheeks, which were hollow, looked rounder. Her small fingers stopped shaking. Life was returning to her body. Behind him, the mother stirred. Her eyes opened slowly. The first thing she saw was the man, the human, feeding her child. Her child. She blinked, confused. For a second, she didn't know where she was. Her body was warm, covered in something soft. There was no snow, no pain in her feet, only the sound of her baby eating and the man holding her. Her lips parted, and she tried to speak, but no sound came. Only tears. She reached out weakly, her fingers stretched toward her baby. Derek turned around and froze. Their eyes met. Human and alien. Stranger and mother. He didn't speak. He just watched. The mother's hand dropped again, too weak to hold it up. She closed her eyes, but not in fear this time. In peace. Later that day, Derek laid the baby next to her mother. The couch was small, but the baby snuggled into her mother's chest like she had always belonged there. The mother opened her eyes again, just for a moment. She looked down at her baby and smiled. Derek stood back, watching quietly. "I don't know your name," he said softly. "I don't know where you came from, but you're not alone anymore." He turned away, trying not to let the emotion show on his face. But the baby chirped again, and for the first time, the mother responded. She made a soft, clicking sound. Her voice was dry, but it worked. She spoke her baby's name. "Lou, Ra." Derek paused. "You named her?" The mother blinked. Slowly, she nodded. "Lura," Derek repeated. "Pretty name." That night, Derek stayed awake. He sat by the window, holding a small tool in his hand, pretending to fix it, but his eyes kept going back to the couch. The baby slept peacefully in her mother's arms. The mother looked fragile. Her bones still showed, but she held her baby like a warrior, protecting treasure. Derek couldn't forget that note. "Please don't hurt her. I have no food. I will come back if I survive." She did come back. She survived. For her daughter. How many others would have walked away forever? How many would have let their child die? But not her. She gave everything she had, even her body, even her hope. And now, she was safe. But Derek didn't know what tomorrow would bring. Would someone come looking for them? Was the mother a refugee? A slave? A fugitive? The galaxy was not kind to the weak, and Earth was not kind to aliens with no identity. He looked at the baby again. If anyone tried to take her away now, they'd have to go through him. The next morning, the sky was gray. Rain tapped on the roof of Derek's small home. Inside, everything was quiet. Too quiet. The alien mother was still asleep, holding baby Lura close to her chest. Her breathing was slow but steady now. She had eaten a little the night before. Her color was returning. Her fingers no longer trembled. When she touched her child, Derek stood in the kitchen making a weak cup of coffee. His mind raced with questions. Who was she? Why was she on Earth? Was someone looking for her? He turned toward the couch again and whispered, "What kind of life were you running from?" Across the city, in a cold alley filled with garbage and old tech scraps, 3 alien men stood around a fire barrel. Their leader, a tall, green-skinned alien named Rukal, growled in frustration. "She escaped," he spat. The blue-skinned, mother, weak, starving but smart. Another gang member, shorter and with sharp teeth, laughed. "Let her go. She's useless. No one wants broken females." But Rukal bared his teeth. "She left behind a baby. A pure-blood alien infant. Do you know how much that's worth to the right buyer?" The others looked at each other. Rukal leaned in, grinning. "We find the baby. We sell it. Then maybe we sell the mother too." They all laughed. Then one of them pulled out a small tracking device. "I tagged her coat," he said. "She still had it when she ran." Back in Derek's home, the baby woke first. She made a soft chirping sound, then reached her hand toward the mother's cheek. The mother smiled in her sleep. Derek watched from across the room. He had never seen something so pure, so gentle. Suddenly, a loud knock hit the front door. Derek stood up quickly. Another knock. Harder. He stepped to the door slowly. "Who is it?" Silence. Then, bam! The door was kicked open. 3 aliens stormed in, faces covered with cloth, eyes filled with greed. Derek stepped back. "Stay away from them," he shouted. The leader, Rukal, pointed at the mother and baby. "That infant belongs to us now." "She's not yours," Derek said. "She's not anyone's." The gang moved fast. One lunged for the couch. Derek grabbed a wrench from the kitchen counter and swung hard. It hit the alien's arm, knocking him back. The baby screamed. The mother sat up, still weak, but her eyes burned with fury. She wrapped her arms around her child and hissed like an animal. Her teeth were sharp. Her hands shook, but she didn't move. "Take one more step," Derek growled, "and I swear I'll put you in the ground." For a moment, no one moved. The rain hit the windows. Then the baby did something strange. She stopped crying and opened her mouth wide. A pulse of energy, soft and golden, came out like a small wave. It wasn't loud, but it was strong enough to make every window in the house tremble. The gang froze. "What was that?" one of them said, backing away. The mother's eyes widened. She whispered, "She's awakening." The baby's skin began to glow faintly. Her small body gave off a strange heat. The air grew heavy. Derek stepped between the gang and the baby. Rukal hesitated. "She's a rare one," he muttered. "We'll be back." And just like that, they left. The door hung broken. Derek stood breathing heavily. His hands were shaking. The mother slowly reached out to touch his arm. She looked into his eyes and nodded. She didn't speak. She didn't have to. She trusted him now. Derek sat on the floor, head against the wall. "This just got a lot more dangerous," he said. He looked at the baby, still glowing softly. "Who are you, little one?" he whispered. "And what are you becoming?" The broken door was now sealed with old planks and scrap metal. Derek had worked through the night hammering and fixing, doing all he could to keep danger out. He didn't sleep. He couldn't. Inside, the alien mother rested on the couch, holding baby Lura close to her chest. Her body was still weak, but her spirit had returned. Her eyes stayed open now, alert, protective. The baby glowed faintly as she slept. A soft, golden light, gentle but strange. Derek couldn't stop thinking about what had happened, the energy wave, the fear in those gang members' eyes. What kind of child was she? In a shadowy room across the city, Rukal growled in anger. "They humiliated us," he shouted, slamming his fist on a metal table. "A human and a half-dead female." His men stood silent. "We go back tonight," he said. "But this time, we bring chains." Back at the house, the mother finally spoke. Her voice was low, cracked but strong. "She is gifted," she said. Derek turned. "You mean The energy thing. The mother nodded slowly. She's not like others. She was born under twin stars. That makes her powerful. Derek sat beside her, confused. But she's just a baby. The mother looked at him. Even now she feels your fear. He looked down at the baby. She was awake, watching him quietly. Her eyes were glowing. Again. I don't want to lose her, Derek said. You won't, the mother said. Not if we stand together. That night the rain stopped, the sky turned black, and the wind grew cold. Then they came. Not knocking this time. They broke the window. Derek jumped from the table where he had been sharpening tools. Glass scattered across the floor. Rukal's voice echoed from the shadows. We warned you, human. This time, she's ours. The baby screamed. The mother tried to stand, but her legs still trembled. Derek grabbed a metal pipe and stood in front of them both. No one touches them, he growled. Not while I'm breathing. Rukal stepped forward, chains in one hand, a stun rod in the other, but before he could strike, the baby opened her mouth again. This time, the glow was stronger, brighter. A pulse of golden light exploded from her chest, not a scream, but a wave of force. Rukal and his men were thrown back, into the walls. Sparks flew from their weapons, the lights in the house flickered. The air felt thick and heavy. Derek fell to one knee, shielding his eyes. When the light faded, the room was silent. Rukal groaned on the floor. He looked up at the child, now calm again, glowing softly in her mother's arms. He hissed. That thing, it is not a baby. It's a weapon. He crawled to the door, blood on his lip. You're protecting a time bomb. The whole galaxy will want her soon, and you'll be nothing but ash when they come. Then he limped away, vanishing into the dark. Derek shut the door gently and locked it again. His hands were shaking. He turned to the mother. Is he right? She looked down at Lura, who was now asleep again. She is not a weapon, the mother said softly. She is hope. Later, the storm returned outside. Inside, Derek sat beside them. The baby lay on his lap, smiling in her sleep. The mother rested with her head on his shoulder. He whispered to her, If the galaxy comes for her, then we protect her. Together. She nodded. No more running. No more trash piles. No more chains. Only family. The sky turned red at dawn. The city was quiet, but something in the air had changed. Inside Derek's home, the alien mother stood on her feet for the first time. Her legs were still weak, but her eyes were steady. The baby, Lura, giggled in her arms, stronger now, glowing like soft fire. Derek watched them from the doorway, tired but amazed. You're walking again, he said. The mother nodded slowly. I have to. I feel them. Coming. Far away, Rukal limped into a secret outpost hidden in the lower tunnels of the city. A new voice greeted him, cold and mechanical. Did you find the child? Rukal growled. Yes, she's too dangerous. I want her gone. The alien he spoke to had glowing white eyes and wore the armor of a collector, someone who hunted and traded rare species for credits. If she's what you say, we won't destroy her, the collector said. We'll claim her. Rukal didn't care anymore. Take her. Take the human too. Just leave me with something. The collector tilted his head. We leave you alive. That is something. Back at the house, Derek reinforced the windows. The baby played with a small stuffed robot he had found in storage. The mother stood by the wall, sharpening a broken metal rod. We can't keep running, Derek said. The mother looked at him. I'm not running anymore. He paused. Then, what do we do? She stepped forward. We stand. Derek stared at her. This woman who once collapsed in the snow now stood like a warrior. He nodded. All right, then we stand together. That night the silence broke again, but this time it wasn't a gang, it was an army. 2 black ships hovered above the street, silent and dark. From the shadows stepped 6 tall beings, armor shining, weapons humming. The collectors had arrived. Inside the house, Laura stopped playing. Her glowing eyes stared at the door. She felt it. Her mother placed a hand on her head and whispered something in their language, something soft, full of love. Then she handed the baby to Derek. "You protect her," she said. "What about you?" Derek asked. The mother turned toward the door. "I was her shield once, I'll be it again." The first blast hit the door like thunder. The second shattered the wall. Smoke filled the room as the collectors entered, weapons raised. "Stand down," one of them shouted. But the mother didn't move. She stepped forward, body glowing faintly, now like her child. One collector aimed at her. "You are a Class G runaway. This child is not yours to keep." Derek held the baby close. "She's not property." Another collector looked at him. "You are interfering in galactic law, human. You will be punished." The mother suddenly raised her hand, and a bright arc of golden energy exploded from her palm. It hit the ground in front of the soldiers and split the floor. Everyone paused. "She is not just a child," the mother said. "She is born of light and pain, and she is mine." The room trembled. The baby, held tightly by Derek, began to glow brighter. Her small hands reached out. A soft hum filled the space, and then everything stopped. The soldiers froze. Their weapons dimmed. Time bent. The mother stepped forward, lifted her child from Derek's arms, and whispered to her, "Show them who you are." The baby opened her golden eyes and released a gentle wave of light. It wasn't loud. It wasn't angry. It was pure. The collectors dropped their weapons. One by one, they fell to their knees, not in pain, but in silence, as if they saw something bigger than war, bigger than orders. They stood up slowly, turned, and walked out. No fight, no blood, only awe. When the silence returned, Derek looked around. "They're gone?" The mother nodded. "She didn't destroy them. She showed them the truth." Derek stared at the baby, now sleeping peacefully again in her mother's arms. "She saved us," he whispered. "No," the mother said, holding Laura close. "You did." The wind had stopped. The storm was gone. Derek stood outside his small house as the sun rose behind the ruined city skyline. Smoke from broken buildings still floated in the air, but in his little street, there was peace. Inside, the alien mother sat quietly with Laura in her arms. The baby cooed softly, fingers grabbing her mother's long hair, eyes glowing like sunlight trapped in crystal. They had survived. But now came the question, what happens next? Derek stepped back inside, rubbing dust off his face. "I checked the street," he said. "No soldiers, no gang, not even Rukal." The mother looked up. Her voice was calm. "They won't return." He raised an eyebrow. "Why not?" "They saw her heart," she whispered, looking at Laura. "And their own hearts changed." Derek sat beside her, glancing at the baby. "So, what now?" he asked. "Where will you go?" The mother looked down, silent for a long moment. Then, she said softly, "I have no home, no family, no name left to speak." Derek looked at her, surprised. "You mean, you're alone?" She nodded. "I was born in a slave nest. I escaped. But I never lived, not truly, until now." She gently touched Laura's cheek. "She gave me a reason to stay alive." Then very quietly she added, "And so did you." The room felt still. Derek didn't know what to say. He looked at the floor. "I never thought I'd raise a baby, or stand between alien gangs and soldiers. But I couldn't walk away. Not from her, not from you." She looked into his eyes. "Why?" He gave a small smile. "Because when I found her in the trash, it was like something inside me woke up. I'd lost people too. I'd felt empty. But the moment she held my finger, everything changed." The mother's eyes glistened. "She calls you father when she sleeps," she whispered. Derek blinked. "I'm not her father. he said softly. You are, she replied. Not by blood, but by heart. She stood up slowly, still holding Lura. The baby giggled and stretched her arms toward Derek. The mother stepped closer. If we stay, she said, voice shaking slightly, would you let us call this place home? Derek didn't answer with words. He held out his arms and the mother placed Lura into them. He cradled the baby close and she let out a happy chirp. Her head rested on his chest. Then he looked up. Home isn't just a place, he said. It's people. He reached out his other hand, and she took it. Weeks passed. Derek's home looked different now. The door was fixed. The windows were covered with stronger glass. A garden started to grow outside. Half earth plants, half alien ones the mother knew how to care for. Inside, baby Lura grew fast. She laughed often, walked early, and her glow became softer and more stable each day. She spoke 2 languages now, tiny words in galactic and human. Her first full sentence, my mama, my dada, home. One evening, while the stars blinked above, the mother and Derek sat on the roof. She leaned against him gently, eyes on the sky. I don't know what tomorrow brings, she said. Derek looked at her and smiled. That's okay. Tomorrow can come, we'll face it together. She held his hand. I never knew humans could care so deeply, she whispered. Derek chuckled. We're full of surprises. She tilted her head, then leaned closer. Then, will you marry me? He blinked. Wait, what? She smiled. I don't need a ceremony or rings, just a promise that we'll raise her together, that you'll be ours. Derek's heart pounded. He looked at her, and then at the baby sleeping below through the open window, and he said the only thing that made sense. Yes. And so, the starving mother who once abandoned her child in the trash found not just food, not just safety, but family, a human who gave her hope, a baby who gave them both purpose and a future brighter than any star.